I really think that this is an unbelievably enchanted, magical, beautiful realm that is so beyond words, so beyond language, that I think it's our hubris to think that we can use language to try to articulate and extrapolate the actual beautiful wonder of this great mysterium tremendum that we're afoot in, and that, you know, every breath we take and every person we meet, every experience we have is in this garden of Eden. This is heaven on earth. There's been this wildly beautiful, transcendental, metaphysical idea of this millennial kingdom, this millennial reign, this 1,000-year reign of Christ, and that whole thing is really beautifully, stunningly poetic and enchanting. This true, sense of mystery and awe of this Garden of Eden that we're living in. And now when I look around, I literally see the Garden of Eden. This beautiful creation. I look up at the firmament and I see the pole star. I imagine that to be the gates to heaven. Just like there's a pineal gland on our head, this is our dome, and then we got the pineal gland, that's our pole star. And then we got this huge dome with the pole star, Polaris, up there. It's like as above, so below. There's a dome within, a dome without. There's a portal, a pineal gland portal to back to heaven through consciousness. At the same time, I think that when we die, our souls get pulled to the electromagnetic center of the system where Mount Meru is, and we shoot up that Jacob's ladder, the stairway to heaven, and our soul flies into Polaris, and that's where heaven is. I think heaven is actually in the waters above, through Polaris, through the pole star. We are standing in the Garden of Eden right now, and what we're trying to do is to unravel all these false narratives so that we can realize that here in the body, we're in the Garden of Creation, and we pass on, our soul transcends, and we're going to go back to heaven and hang out with that coven of ascended masters and gaze upon the glory of Christ, and all the secrets be unraveled with some kind of telepathic download, beyond language. So what we're attempting to do here is to go into a territory where language is not welcome, just unbridled bewilderment of the great riddle. The road to awe is through breath, and I think the true logos is it's beyond our understanding. We just have to gaze upon the wonder. And on a closing note, let me get a little jiggle, a little dance in here. I really think that this is an unbelievably enchanted, magical, beautiful realm that is so beyond words, so beyond language, that I think it's our hubris to think that we can use language to try to articulate and extrapolate the actual beautiful wonder of this great mysterium tremendum that we're afoot in, and that, you know, every breath we take and every person we meet, every experience we have is in this Garden of Eden. This is heaven on earth. And there's been this wildly beautiful, transcendental, metaphysical idea of this millennial kingdom, this millennial reign, this 1,000-year reign of Christ, and that whole thing is really beautifully, stunningly poetic and enchanted. This true, sense of mystery and awe of this Garden of Eden that we're living in. And now when I look around, I literally see the Garden of Eden. This beautiful creation. I look up at the firmament and I see the pole star. I imagine that to be the gates to heaven. Just like there's a pineal gland on our head, this is our dome, and then
Welcome back, everyone. June 30th, 2025.
This was 6 days ago.
Golf today. Take a look at this shockwave that covers every single Gulf state. Whatever this is, some sort of front, some sort of weird weather manipulation type thing going on. You can see the entire shockwave of this thing rolling up from the
over here.
Gulf, straight up to all states that touch that water. And as you get a little closer near Texas and Louisiana, we start seeing our next red beams firing in all directions just as this front crosses that area. And then you're not going to believe what's on the horizon. Finally, we're already in July and we've only seen the letters A and B, which quickly formed and disappeared, which would be Andrea and Barry. Now, Chantel might be another story as far as hurricanes go, but we're expected to see at least a possible tropical storm in the Gulf this week or within the next 7 days. And you can see that right here on the 5-day tropical outlook chart. As of right now, they're kind of expecting this thing to possibly roll up the west coast of Florida and then hug the Gulf states, the Panhandle, Alabama, Mississippi. This could all change in a short period of time, but I think it's very interesting how we've had such a quiet season, and then out of nowhere, we get this explosion of energy in the Gulf. That's a weird-looking phenomena. It does not look natural to me. It's involving the next red towers, then zapping the crap out of this front. That seems artificially made to me. Of course, this is just my opinion, which I'm allowed to have. God forbid you have your own opinion these days online, but this is very strange, my friends. This is not something you see every day. This is a very unique type shockwave looking thing that is on the next red charts. And I mean, the more you look at it, the more it seems that way. It's just at a place. You see these in small versions that'll cross like half a state, but this is spanning multiple states in one giant wave. Now, temperatures are supposed to be super hot all along the Gulf states, including Mexico, so it's definitely not a cold front. And if you look a little closer, you can see it kind of originates in a small, compact area within the center of the Gulf before expanding out into all these states. That is why I'm adding the shockwave term, not just because of the visual, but because it begins in that short, compact area, and then you can literally follow this wave all the way up thousands of miles into the United States. Just a very, very wild video, my friends. Please take the time to share this, subscribe, and please check me out over on on X and Instagram as well. That is where I post when I'm not here on YouTube. I know it's been a while. I've had a lot going on, but I'm here and I'm posting every day. So please check those channels out. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
So that's the next red guy. He's he does some good stuff. Sometimes he's a little over speculative, but he's the one that kind of first started pointing out anomalies when you're looking at radar and the behavior of the next red towers. And he's been pretty close on some things as far as correlation between what he witnessed and the storm that came after that. Again, we need
That
more
was 6 days
information.
ago, you said?
That was 6 days. That was before the flood in Texas.
So he's kind of like what's his name? Dane Wigington or whatever?
Well, Dutch Sense. Dutch
No,
Sense is the
no, I'm saying he's like one of those guys.
So Dutch Sense does the earthquakes. This guy's kind of like watching the next red towers and just looking and seeing kind of the behavior and then what happens after that. So, and we're in Hurricane Chantel, right? It's not really a hurricane. It's more like a tropical depression, but it seems a little early. Is July hurricane season? Is that the beginning of it? I don't know.
Somebody sometime around August and September and October.
Well, we're early on this one.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are you guys?
It feels weird outside. Yeah, me too, man. Hey, Andrew. Hey, Nico.
Hi.
Yeah, I don't take you for a sports fan, but I think you're the female embodiment of me. Well, I guess
I'm wearing a tutu with it.
I'm wearing nice. Wow. That was awesome.
I'm not well.
I mean, awful. My wife and Alex.
I was watching up on the big screen up here to make sure she didn't show too much away and get a strike on.
Oh my god, I don't even have any panties on.
I'm
just kidding.
God knows they'll take a screenshot of it. Man, it feels weird outside. I had like the weirdest feeling. I went up for my typical pre-show Slurpee, right before we got in the sound check. And it felt like my bicycle was floating like side by side, and it's not even that windy. And I checked my tires, like it was just like a weird feeling, a very quiet, calm before the storm feeling. I don't know if that's just Middle Tennessee, but I definitely noticed it.
Hold on a second, You've never told us this. Are you a Slurpee addict?
Oh my god, you wouldn't believe they don't even.
Oh my god, me too.
She likes Slurpees too.
Wait a second. You get a free Slurpee on 7-Eleven Day.
They give me a free one every day. They never charge me for this thing. And I don't know if you can tell how big it is, but
that's a good idea. No, I was like, my cousin Jacqueline, her birthday is July 11th. And she's like, I just found out that I don't get a Slurpee on 7-Eleven Day. I get one free every day.
Because her birthday's on July 11th. Speaking of birth dates, in 2 days, my daughter's sweet 16.
Oh.
Send our best.
Yeah. Happy sweet 16. This one that made their bracelets.
We're taking her out for sushi for her birthday party. Oh, yeah. I've still got mine too. But I never take mine off. Whenever I was on tour, I would come home and have every band for every venue, every, backstage pass, every sticker. Like it took me forever to cut stuff off my wrist. Like you would be like, did you go to a show last night or a bar last night? I'm like, no, that's from like 3 months ago, dude. I don't know why. Like I'll keep hospital bands on and stuff. But yeah, I haven't taken mine off since last year's Hurricane Rico, which I drove fine during.
And I don't know if people are aware of this, but when I was working at the VA hospital in Menlo Park, I found out, Hurricane Maria happened. And that was in 2017. And I asked my supervisor, hey, am I allowed to volunteer to go and work, as a volunteer? He's like, yeah, absolutely. You can. He's like, but the training is really difficult. It's all online stuff. It was like 16 hours of just really, really difficult stuff to comprehend. And anyways, I passed the course. And then I got sent to Puerto Rico. I was there for 3 weeks, and I saw what the aftermath of a hurricane actually looks like, and it destroyed the fucking island. And it was very, very interesting to find out how that kind of stuff works. But I don't think that was a natural hurricane, because if you look at the hurricane path, Puerto Rico is 100 miles wide, about
Port
30
Army.
miles. Yeah, it's like 30 miles by 100 miles, and that's like the square footage of it. And it's shaped a little bit like a potato or something. Anyways, from there, I found out that the hurricane went directly over, right down the middle of the island, like for maximum destruction. And then it skipped a lot of other places as well. And that's my little experience with hurricanes. And it was fucked up. I got a lot of pictures to show if you guys want to see them.
Dude,
Yeah.
check
There
this
was-
out. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, there's Hurricane Sandy in New York was crazy, and all the power was out in Manhattan. And when you drove down, it was just like the whole city was black. It was crazy.
And weird to see the city of light without lights.
Yeah, it was wild. Hurricane Sandy was weird.
So check this out real quick. A little off topic, but it's a short story. When I was a kid, like, you know, barely walking, I lived on the beach in Houston, Texas, and we were living in a trailer, and our backyard was the ocean. And a hurricane was coming, and my sister was sitting Indian style on the floor, and my mother wasn't there. My older sister was babysitting me, and she just held me and rocked me back and forth to comfort me. And, you know, luckily we made it out alive. Is my memory. The last time at a family gathering, I told that story. My sister was like, I've told you before, that never happened. You made that up. That is not something that we've ever been through. And I have the most vivid memory of it. And so anyone I told that story to, I guess it was a dream from that age. So it felt just as real as a memory, but never happened. She said that she was babysitting once, I think here in Middle Tennessee. And there was one, but it wasn't any kind of close call or anything. But yeah, I have this vivid memory. Like the walls had like that old wood paneling. Like I could see everything. Like it's made that crap up.
Maybe you switch timelines.
Yeah, maybe it was a past life.
Right? I don't know. But the last time I brought it up, my sister was like, you've said that before. That did not happen. And I was like, wow. And she knows I'm not lying because she's in the lie. You know, if it was a lie, like I really had this memory.
Here's something that's interesting about, like, you know, I don't believe in coincidences at all, you know, and the flood in Texas, you know, it wasn't so much that there is flash flooding. Of course, there is a flooding, especially in the Southwest, because something about the nature of that caliche dirt or something, it doesn't absorb a lot. It's just, I mean, once it rains, it just all collapses and goes to the lowest level and can build up really fast. And I was curious that it was on the 4th of July, which was, you know, how certain people in this world like their dates, and it's part of their religion and everything else. I found it was kind of curious. That was the second highest and fastest that river has ever risen. I'd like to know when the actual original one was and where that record
1987.
was. 1987.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of 33 people died in 1987 at this camp. It's
33.
33.
So there's not just Camp Mystic that's there. Camp Mystic is like this really big non-denominational camp. And I went down and did a whole rabbit hole about it last night. And the website was glitching out because there's so many people like researching it. But apparently it's been owned by the same entire family. And Laura Bush worked there as a counselor. All the politicians' daughters go there. It is a non-denominational Christian church. And they spent a month there. It's upwards of $5,000 per month per girl. And there's like 750 to 800 girls that go there. The bubble cabin was the one that was washed out. And it was the one that was lowest by the lake. They just found two other little girls, two little 8-year-olds that were clinging to a tree for the last 24 hours.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this tragedy happened in 1987. And I was thinking about it earlier because, you know, your brain is being developed then. And when trauma happens at that point in your life, you don't really ever get over it. Like, for instance, in 1987, when I was 6, my aunt and uncle died on a plane crash. And so a lot of times when people pass away, you don't have to hear it on the news during Saturday morning cartoons. And, Dan Rather going, oh, more investigation into Flight 255, blah, 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 blah. And I will not, they're playing a news story about it every year. And it's almost re-traumatizing. And these poor kids are going to have to go through that. And the way that water was rushing was so fast, and all of the debris, and what do they call it? There's a word for it. Like the debris line was like 20 feet up. It's just weird.
I'm going to share my screen.
By the way, well, this is a quick little aside while you're getting ready to share your screen, Andrew. You know that CERN and the colliders, they've been colliding. They started with photons and neutrons and gold. They fired back up at a higher power, colliding oxygen the day that flood happened. So this is kind of a reach, but if you add in the ability of HARP and shooting off the ionosphere, et cetera, there might be something there. I tried, and Alex told me to find a clip, but I didn't find anything short enough to really play on the show and make it worth it. But I just wanted to notate that was fired back up the day of the flood in Austin.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
And then there's the whole Lake Tahoe thing too. Lake Tahoe turned into an ocean. Do you know who it killed? There was a boat did you hear about this? It was like last week or the week before. Lake Tahoe was literally bubbling like an electric tea kettle right before this storm happened. And then it capsized a boat of the DoorDash founder and all of his family, except for his fiance.
That's wow. Weird.
I think, don't quote me on that. I think it was, or maybe it was his wife. I think it was his fiance, but it was his parents, him, and his last name is Pickles.
Mr. Pickles.
I know. And I was like, Pickles? But there was this weird thing that happened around that because like a friend of ours lives in Lake Tahoe, and we went to Hot Springs, Arkansas to do a bathing suit shoot for her. And the girl that was in there before me was holding a pickle and dressed like a big pickle. Like a cardboard cutout pickle. And she was putting a bathing suit and a mustache on it. And then I'm reading about this DoorDash and his name is Pickles. And this guy, he doesn't believe in coincidences, but let me tell you something.
That's a bit of a stretch there, but
pickles. There have been a lot of pickles happening. That's not the only pickle. So I feel like maybe we're all just in a pickle right now. And I'm not sure if you like pickles. I like the little gherkins myself, like little baby ones.
So today we don't have a special guest at the moment. So we're all going to be going back to basically square one of how we started this off with. And we all have certain things that we're going to be presenting. And I'm just going to, right now I'm presenting my screen. I'm not sure if you guys can see that.
I'm adding it. There you go.
You got it? Okay.
All right, here we go. So this is I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So this is my experience when I was driving around with all the guys, the Puerto Ricans, and this is the aftermath of the hurricane. And you can see right there's down power lines. Some of them are, they're all dead now, but they were dead. And just seeing how everything is just completely fucked. And the only buildings that actually survived the ones that were made out of concrete and rebar, but all the small little huts and stuff that people build, those are gone. And they were gone too. There's an unknown amount of casualties. I think it said there's around 10,000 people that died. And these are my own personal pictures I took. And the skate park. Okay, this is that's technical. It's blah, blah, blah. It's a generator. And this was a road. Not anymore. And creating a waterfall. And that's the same thing. And again. Okay, so, and it was just raining over there all the fucking time too. It rains almost every fucking day.
Right.
It's weird how it works, but see where all the brown type of foliage is? That's because the hurricane ripped it apart.
Right.
It's gone.
Yeah, pushed it over.
Yep. Bamboo gone. Little huts like this barely survived. And new rivers were formed that didn't exist before that. And this was Hurricane Maria, by the way. And just going down. Yeah, there we go. Communication lines and power lines that some of them are still energized. Not all of them. and I was not driving. I was just the in the passenger seat with everyone, and that's like part of someone's house that just fell down the side of the road, like, or a shed or something. It's all sheet metal, corrugated sheet metal, and there you go. It's fucking gone, and that windows don't exist anymore, and the paint was ripped off.
Oh my gosh.
And some pictures are better than others, but
It's wild.
I took as many pictures as I possibly could. This is only a small portion of them, by the way. But yeah, like, again, power lines down. Well, the black ones, those are communication lines. And also, yeah, there's someone else's house where it's basically that house. What they were telling me is that, yeah, the house is gonna fucking fall over, and so they had to abandon it. And again, more shit just coming down the side. And that was where, when I was working at the VA, that's what we had, was the mobile hospitals, and blah blah blah. Oh, a fucking iguana.
Oh, he's a big boy.
Oh yeah. And the head electrician at the VA at that time, who was the driver of the car, because there was 4 electricians and 1 mechanic, and I was there to help set up generators and shit. And so he went over, and I was like, oh shit, an iguana. And Richard was like, yeah. I'm like, I don't see those in California ever. And so he went over and he picked it up, and that fucking thing, it whipped its tail around and sliced his arm open.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. And
that one looks like it has an interchangeable, not just a regrowing, but an interchangeable tail.
Like sort of like Voltron.
It looks like he's getting ready to shed his skin.
Of course, it's sort of like Voltron.
Did
we just become best friends? Yep.
So here we go with the next couple of slides. I don't have many left, but this is, you can't really tell what it looks like at the moment until, whoops, fuck. I think I have a better picture of it. There we go. He built it like a UFO, and that is an alien that he put on.
That's hilarious.
Wow. That's awesome.
And, oh yeah, he's like widely known in the Puerto Rican environment, and yeah, I had a few pictures of that. And then this is I don't know if this is flat Earth evidence, but that's an island off the coast that's about 20 miles away. And we were at about 100 feet of elevation at that point. So yeah, some of the pictures are kind of blurry.
Looks like you can see all the way down to the shoreline, even if you're 100 feet up.
Yeah, isn't that where the resorts are?
Yeah, kind of. Oh, I've got stuff of that too. But this is outside my hotel room.
Yeah, they're all over.
Another fucking iguana. They're all over the place. And that was also outside the turtles. Just having fun.
Yeah.
Turtles all the way down.
It's like seeing stray cats in Philadelphia, It's just like they're just used to it down there,
So yeah,
is it Philadelphia that's having a trash strike? So they're expecting the city to be overrun.
Oh, dude, somebody is. I think it's Philly. But if it's Philly, that's the worst city to have a trash strike, because that's going to turn that place that's already in trouble into a giant dump.
Oh my God, it's been in trouble for like a good decade or more.
Well, Camden is actually New Jersey, but it's like basically Philly. If they have a trash strike there, oh boy.
Oh my. By the way, why don't the homeless move to a city like that? Wouldn't it be better to live in an abandoned house in an abandoned neighborhood than on the streets? You know what? Never mind. Different topic. Go ahead, Andrew.
So yeah, that was the first day I was ever able to actually see the beach in the daytime, because it was like the very last day. Because aside from that, we were working 16-hour shifts, and it was fucking nuts. Like, I paid a lot, but so this is the last day I was there. This is the Puerto Rican beach, and the hotel we were staying at, this one, was completely occupied by the VA, FEMA, the FBI for some fucking reason. I have no idea why. And then a lot of other people that were federal employees, but they lost their homes are fucking gone. So they were allowed to stay here for free. And they ripped off all the drywall everywhere, because it soaked the entire part of it. And apparently what I was told is this is actually owned by Donald Trump. and this is
Yeah.
right on the fucking beach. So
That's white people for you.
Yep. And
All right.
So yeah, okay. Just trying to get. All right, it's enough.
Oh,
I like
hey,
the,
you
I
didn't.
like the picture show. I like the picture show.
Yeah, that all right wasn't. Hey, stop your presentation. That all right was my joke about white people. Never mind.
Oh, fuck white people.
Oh my god.
You know, so I was thinking, like, you know, all, you know,
White
hurricanes.
fatigue.
Everybody gets like this really, they go into this woo woo. They go in this woo woo thing about like, oh, weather modification. Yeah, it's just a bunch of bullshit. This, you know, it's not new. Cloud seeding's not new. That's old news. That's like they were doing that in the 50s and 60s, which, you know, that's public record. Okay.
Well,
Then
that's why Vietnam is known for being super rainy too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the other thing too that people
war.
don't really understand is it's not that difficult of a thing. Everybody, well, most people in, you know, in the United States have something in their kitchen that is a weather modification device, per se. Microwaves, they basically vibrate water molecules in food and heat it up. That's how they heat up food in a microwave. That's how that works.
A lot of people don't know that, by the way.
Yeah,
Explain
and
that
it's
better.
but when you
I mean,
fire,
I know it, but go ahead.
yeah, well, when you fire a large amount of microwaves into the atmosphere, you're not doing anything more than your microwave is doing. But you're heating up large portions of the atmosphere that does and can affect the weather. You
Sure.
could steer possible scenarios by heating up it over here, letting this place stay cool, and the weather's going to behave and it's going to move to the least possible resistance, yada yada yada. In
Yeah.
other words, steering weather and making weather isn't hard.
And
It isn't hard.
NASA has those, you know, that those big machines. There's one in Mississippi, and it makes clouds, and it's raining in no time. They have
Yeah.
those on barges. But yeah, for the layman, what a microwave does is it takes a molecule of water and it vibrates so quickly that the friction from the vibration heats up the food. That's why it'll burn stuff like ramen without water, because the friction's literally burning. So it's not microwaving your brain.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it can, but you know.
And if you ask yourself, if every single person has access to a microwave oven in America, what do you think the Army's doing with it with an unlimited budget? They're
Right.
parking that thing somewhere and firing it at the sky to see what they can do with it. And, you know, I wouldn't, you know, it would not surprise me the least little bit over the last 40, 50 years that they have figured out how to steer systems and how to create systems and how to, if you heat up the atmosphere, it's going to cause some fucking bullshit. It just is. You know, so like if you're still one of those people who's like, weather modification, no, you're 40 fucking years behind on this shit.
Yeah. And not only can they manipulate the weather, but nature is also like, whenever they make it rain somewhere where there's a drought, nature's also going to compensate for that where they took the water from. So even non-intentional weather warfare can be man-made weather by default.
Yeah, because the system's going to balance itself out. Like if you
there you
take
go.
away,
Thank you.
take away from one or add to one, it's going to balance out.
Exactly.
You know, it's very curious, like especially after Helene last year. I mean, we knew there was some degree of that stuff happening. I mean, even in Dubai, you know, they screwed up and cloud seeded too much, whatever that was, and ended up flooding out their city for like weeks because somebody didn't, you know, cross their T's and dot their I's on the equation when they decided they were going to seed clouds or whatever. Or maybe it was just a psyop and a stunt. I don't know. But anyway, it's possible and it is done. And if you're in denial of that, then I mean, I would recommend looking it up. There's plenty of stuff out there. The thing that happened in North Carolina last year and this thing in Texas stinks to me. And the timing of it is interesting. That's all I'm going to say about that. Any more of that is speculation, but like there's plenty of shit out there. Periscope Films has the earliest films of cloud seeding and weather modification. I sent you one. Apparently the link didn't work.
Well, he was still live. Yeah, I got the link, but he was still live, and I checked it again, and he wasn't live anymore. But the link was a dead link totally at that point. So I don't know.
Yeah, if you guys want to really if you want to dig deep into like where there wasn't as much vice grip on information back, Periscope Films is really good because they talk about cloud seeding back in '68. And they talk about, they actually give away a lot of stuff that unless you dig back into those old films that they don't teach people anymore. And it's really fascinating to go back because they do it in a very simple way so that you can understand it. And it doesn't sound so woo-woo because they're just basically telling you how it works. And I can see why they don't teach people that shit anymore, because there's a lot of powerful stuff in there that people could learn about, I just learned the other day the difference between AM and FM, and why the FM carries more information versus AM, and they say it in such a simple way that it's actually understandable. Whereas these days people don't even think about it.
Give it to him. Actually, I recently found this out, but go ahead and explain that. I thought that was interesting.
Well, the frequency modulation, you have AM as I remember right, AM's longer wave. FM's a shorter wave. Chat, figure me out if I'm wrong about that. But either way, you want to be able to get as much information as possible in a short amount of time as possible. And if you modulate it, Andrew, you're going to know more about this shit than I am. But if you modulate the wave, there's more room for information, right?
Okay. Amplified modulation versus what?
Please, you take it from here.
Frequency modulation.
Frequency modulation.
Yeah, it's about
it's what band it's on.
It's the sine wave.
And you have information in there. There's information in those waves that they communicate, like sound and like people talking and television and that sort of thing. And that's how it goes.
A shorter bandwidth, when the sine wave gets closer and closer to itself, it actually increases the strength of it.
Yeah.
You know what the term for that is, at least in music terms? Have you ever been to a concert and someone right beside you that you don't know is singing their heart out and it hurts your ears for just a split second? Well, they got so close to the correct note but missed it. And that distance in between, that's how whenever they're tuning guitars, this is a drummer speak, by the way, forgive me, Alex. But when they tune the guitar, they're shrinking that vibration until it disappears. Well, that motion in between shrinking and tuning is called beating. Beeding. It's called beating.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that one up.
I've never heard of that before. Oh,
yeah, but you know what I'm talking about at a concert when someone's singing beside you and it's like it almost hurts because they got pretty close to the note, but it was just slightly sharp. Well, what hurts your ears is called beating, and that's also. By the way, I was that smart ass drummer that when you guys before like all the tuning was done with racks or rack whatever you call them. I hit things with sticks. You know what I'm talking about, the tuners that are in racks now. Before we got to those days, like I would stand up and like move my cymbal stand, wing that, pretend I was tuning my cymbals just to not be bored. The drummer's nightmare is a long tuning session.
Indeed. What were we gonna say, Andrew?
So only Rico and myself know about this right now, but I'm going to tell you right now that there will be another music trivia, but this time it's going to be a 2v2. So you and Nico versus Crumb and Emily.
I did not agree to this, Andrew.
Come on, don't act like you're not all about it.
Did you email me and ask me permission? I am terrible at trivia.
Well, you were incorporated so much in the last one, so I was figuring this might.
Yeah, no, you were like sharing all the answers.
Duct tape on my mouth.
That was pretty much him asking if you guys thought that was a good idea.
Oh, if you don't
want to pick the subject?
I think we're backstage right now.
All music.
It's music again. It's round 3 with better halves.
Okay, well, there's a lot of categories in music. So there's pop music, there's classical music, there's this music, there's that music. So is there like a category thing? Why isn't there fashion?
And music.
What about fashion? What about photography? What about science?
Because it's just music this time.
Damn it. All right, I'll do my best, but don't expect.
He's gonna shout a lot of answers out.
More than a C.
Well, remember that you guys can work together as a team to get the answer correct.
We're backstage right now, right?
Okay, so I need to go on mute and turn off the camera for a moment. I got to use the restroom. So, but I have 1, 2, 3 more things to bring up, and actually, and a video to share. Yeah, I'm actually just going to drop the link to that.
Why don't you go do your thing and then get your videos ready, and then we'll do a thing for the second hour. There's a few small items that we have to address. I addressed most of them Friday on the Reckoner, but there's a few things we want to go over, just like little housekeeping items about some Jerry Springer shit that's going on out there in the world regarding us. And this is gonna be the last fucking time I ever have to go over this shit, I hope.
Janis Joplin.
If you want to run, I don't know, if you want to run some of the videos right now and then run it into the break, with some of the videos
Okay.
that, like
I can do
Rico,
that.
you have a couple videos that you play regularly at the break.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
want to run those videos right now, Andrew, we could.
Okay. Well, it's just it's a 2.5 minute long video. It's just a
Oh,
parody
okay.
of Joe Rogan and
Go ahead, and I'll pull these up.
Okay.
Hey, real quick, I wanted to address this real quick on the solo sombrero stuff, because there's 2 people in chat that are going to be part of the second hour on the Hurricane Rico Files Volume 1.
Mhm.
I'm waiting on someone to do some art for me before I work on setting a date. So it wasn't one of those flash in the pan things. It's still going down, but I'm not going to work on a date until I'm ready to take off. And Andrew, you can play a video, and I'll get the break videos.
Before I do that, I want to
Okay.
just I have no idea how I received this, but apparently I'm a police supporter. This is a sticker that I'm supposed to put on my fucking car.
Yeah, then you'll never get pulled over and you can speed wherever you want.
I never supported them though.
Well, then you better hang on to that.
Probably because you work for it with like school.
Oh, I've got the whole. Yeah, I got the whole fucking. Yeah,
Dude, I would tape that in your back window and put the sticker in your front. You'll never ever have to deal with it again, ever.
Dude, I had a nephew that was always drinking and driving. Didn't even have a plate on his van, but he had like a legit looking Freemason like stick on, but 3D like looking thingy on the back of his van, and never got pulled over.
Ooh, I mean, if you want to send it to me, Andrew, I'll put it right above the flat Earth sticker.
Oh, I have a flat Earth sticker on my fucking front door.
Yeah, you should put it right above that.
Yeah, all the ones that Dave sent me. So, here we go. This is just again for brevity and comedy, making fun of Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson.
Sorry, dude.
You guys got it?
Yeah.
That was my bad.
Okay.
Blow Gogurt.
Allow me to put this into simpler terms.
Blow Gogurt.
Allow me to put this into simpler terms. So the necromancer, he's got a tower, a long tower, primarily constructed of bone. And on one side, you got sorcerers, metallurgists, bone sorcerers, and ghost wizards.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And there's a huge difference between shadow mancers and shadow slingers. And people don't like to draw the distinction between the two, but it's extremely important to keep context in mind.
Right.
So it's like, if I'm a warlock, and so the necromancer's all the way at the tippy top.
Okay.
He's over here. He's over here in his tower. Galatrax is over here, and he's raising a skeleton army. And it's important to look at. So there's a hierarchy to the bone army. It's hierarchical. It's hierarchical. And all the way down here, you've got the bone boys. And then you've got the crazy bones and the femur fiends, and they're all under the umbrella of the skele snakes.
Oh.
But see, they're not the ones who hold the real power here. No. Because Galatrax, he's got the Book of Spells. He's got the Tome of Whispers.
Interesting.
And it's like, unless you've got a silver shield, good luck venturing through Blightwood Barrow. Good luck trekking through the Bog Witch's Swamp.
Yeah, that reminds me.
And above all this, there's this portal just ripping open above the territories of Skeed.
I mean,
and out pops Galatrax, orb in hand. Remember Galatrax, he's there.
Okay. Yeah.
And at this point, everyone's out of mana, leaving his bone boys completely free to suck the magic powders from the sacred soil.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you kind of lost me there. That represents, like, for capitalism, masculinity. I don't.
Sorry.
So, the ghost wizard.
Okay.
The ghost wizard.
There's a hierarchy to the bone army.
All right, take a break, guys.
Hierarchical.
All right.
It's snowing in Los Angeles? What?
All right, break time, guys. We're professional.
We're
everybody,
backstage
we'll
now,
See you
I
after the
think.
break. I don't know what's going on.
Can you hear us though, Rico?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I think we're all about off stage. I can't tell. Anyway, yeah, break time. Play some videos. Play the stuff, and then I
Okay.
guess we're gonna cover this Jerry Springer bullshit.
All right. Show me later how to go backstage, like he just
I mean,
said.
do we even have to
Okay.
cover the Jerry Springer bullshit? Because I feel like talking shit about that is just like
I don't have anything else to talk about right
I
now,
think
so
we should
might
just
as well just
figure out
cover it
something
and
else
get
to
it over
talk
with.
about. Well, how about we just cover it by saying fuck off?
No, we could. You got any more material for the rest of the show?
Yeah, we can just move on to a different subject. Like next.
Well, then it's up to you. You can pick a subject.
Ooh. Okay, I know what I want to talk about. I don't know what's going on. Are we on a break? No, it's not muted.
He's playing. Well, we're backstage. Should be playing some videos. I don't know why he's not. Rico, do you have that stuff queued up? I don't know what he's doing. I'm muting.
And then we got the pineal gland, that's our pole star. And then we got this huge dome with the pole star Polaris up there. It's like as above, so below. There's a dome within, a dome without. There's a portal, a pineal gland portal to to back to heaven through consciousness. At the same time, I think that when we die, our souls get pulled to the electromagnetic center of the system where Mount Meru is, and we shoot up that Jacob's ladder, the stairway to heaven, and our soul flies into Polaris, and that's where heaven is. I think heaven is actually in the waters above, through Polaris, through the pole star. We are standing in the Garden of Eden right now, and what we're trying to do is to unravel all these false narratives so that we can realize that here in the body we're in the garden of creation, that we pass on, our soul transcends, and we're going to go back to heaven and hang out with that coven of ascended masters and gaze upon the glory of Christ, and and all the secrets be unraveled with some kind of telepathic download, beyond language. So what we're attempting to do here is to go into a territory where language is not welcome. Just unbridled bewilderment of the great riddle, the road to
esoterica. Fire. Ice. Air. Water. Ether. Save the date. October 17, 18, and 19, 2025. Esoterica.
You've registered if you don't want to miss out on that. That way we'll have your email
All right, what's going on? What happened?
I don't
Rico's
I don't
trying
know
to
what's
video,
going on.
but I don't know why he's not
Is it not playing?
No. You gotta
The
at
esoterica
stage.
one played.
Esoterica played.
Huh. You know what? Let me close something out. I got you. Oh, I see what happened. All right. You know what? Every time I learn something and like, hey, I got that, I end up like getting too comfortable and dropping the ball. So at least we're only 3 episodes. Wait a minute, it's a year later. It's okay. All 3 people are not going to be upset. Here you go. Nope. Did that do it?
No.
Nothing.
All right, hold on. Okay. And bazinga.
More to Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Frequently asked questions.
We good now?
Yes.
Yep.
More
Okay,
resources.
I know what I did. I dropped the ball.
Books divided into your favorite categories.
Pun intended.
Shopping for that perfect flat earth item. Homeschool section. Featured content creators. Biblical cosmology. Old world research. Video search feature. Games. The Meetup Maker will help you find your local tribe. Matchmaker to help you find that special someone. Search your selected radius and say hello. Image search for those key images at your fingertips. Enjoy our chat section. Selected new background in our settings area. Time lapse, zodiac, and time zones. The Friend Finder helps you see where all the cool people are hanging. Use your referral code and earn points and dome cryptocurrency.
All right. All right. Guys, hey, it is what it is. I dropped the ball. What's up, Tony? What's up, guys? What's up, chat?
Hi.
Hey.
What's going on in chat over there? Anyway, let me see.
I got a little too big for my britches and was trying to run from the Foil Sombrero account and my personal account at the same time, and I hit play on the wrong one, and was off in Neverland thinking that the chat was sitting there watching videos, and they definitely were not.
What's up, Nemo, Dr. Bass, Josh Mudge, Tony Coriolis, Flat Earth Outlaw, Flat and Geocentric Forever,
NDB #1 fan.
NDB. Yeah. What else is going on out there? Let's see. Titus. Let's see. I don't know. I'm only got hi Liz. I think she went to bed. Yeah. So I thought that I had put this one to bed like weeks ago, but like there was something. I thought we learned not to go full RV like 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, or 5 years ago. I guess we haven't quite learned that lesson yet. There was a video. Is it a long video? The one where they have us all making the hand signs?
It's 8 hours of dude just calling out other people. I believe his name's Janis Joplin, but he's just calling out other channels and making light of our friendships to like Karen or Sargent or just anyone like Just because you sat on their couch and went to one of their barbecues doesn't mean. And by the way, Andrew's an agent. Alex is a shill. I'm a drug addict, which is half true. I was over a decade ago. Like there's all kinds of stuff. Either way, his name's Jason Johnston or something like that. But either way, he was like doing some house cleaning. Like, dude, we're just a channel. And there's all kinds of like creepy music and us flashing our hand symbols and all that. But like literally in the clip, we're literally talking about the origin of the hand symbols from every shot of it. And he calls out other channels and stuff too. By the way, I see a few people in our chat that was in his chat that had our back. Thank you guys. He only has like 4 or 5 loyal followers. And by the way, Vlad is not on the list of people that's behind him, but someone's mad at someone for interrupting Vlad and unsubbed from us. Like, it's just like, what is going? I thought you know what?
I do remember the show we did because we were all just like,
we were
laughing about it, and we were making the hand signs, and then somebody cut them up and made it look like we were part of the club.
I'm an agent. That's fucking awesome.
I
know it's retarded.
I remember that show, and I was talking about posing for photography because I have posed like that in photos, and we didn't know what it was all about back then. Just like Disney, just like HARP, just like all of this other stuff that's been declassified and everything. Like, we didn't know.
Yeah.
And
hey, same here.
Super powerful.
This meant to me, and this will get cut up too. This meant to me when I was a teenager. Rock on, brother.
Yeah,
that's what that meant. And then this is going to get cut up. You watch.
Yeah.
And be like, look at Alex
How about
doing
this. You know what this means?
This one up.
Yeah, fuck off.
That one.
By the way, like there's like we were doing this stuff. Right. Well, we in the clip I mentioned Helen Keller. You know what? That's a rabbit hole. But I was shooting those symbols because I was in a rock band doing photo shoots, and we saw other rock bands do it, so we did it. I never sold my soul, not without trying.
Whoa!
I'm not going to go into what that means, but a few people
backstage. We'll talk about that later on.
I do know. You know what? I'm not going to say that either. Man, I haven't cashed a David Weiss check in like weeks, closer to months. Put it that way.
Oh yeah.
Since he's sent me, well, worth writing home about it, like in the thousands anyway.
Would you mind if I share the one other thing that I was one of?
Oh
go for it.
Well, Alex, are you done addressing the
I don't think there's what's the video you want to show, Andrew? I'll see if I can work.
It's a webpage.
But either way, I still have love for you, Jason Jones. Don't think I don't, but none of us are shills. Andrew's not an agent. He talks like that because he was in the military and what he does for a living, which is not for public knowledge. No one's paying anyone. We don't all agree with everything Karen B says. I agree with a majority. Karen B's not a witch, nor is she a man. We are friends beyond. I've been friends with some of these people for a decade, so don't minimize my friendship. Like that's the only part that bothered me. That and I was funny my first episode because I mentioned Dave Weiss putting me up to do a show because I'm funny. I don't have my sea legs. I'm a drummer. I'm not a public speaker. I'll get funny when I'm ready to get funny, mother.
Everybody that we have seen on our little tour after all of that terrible tragedy happened to us. So my heart goes out to all of these flood victims and like hurricane victims and rain victims and everything. Losing your things and all of your belongings is absolutely devastating. So my prayers are to you, and just hug your family members because you never know when 20 feet of fucking river can be rushing down the fucking road at you. So just, it just breaks my heart that this happens.
That's going to be one of my things I do for when I do the solo sombrero. Is I'm going to be talking a lot about how to be prepared for situations like that. And
that's actually a really good idea, Andrew.
And there's a lot of people that do it, but I think they miss a lot of stuff. So, like YouTube channels and things like that. But anyways, on this day, of July 6th, Anne Frank was forced into hiding. Okay, here's the thing. The reason I'm bringing this up.
Because it's fictional?
Yes, it is fictional. Well, there's multiple reasons as to why. But yeah, this is on Britannica.com. And Anne Frank and her family went into hiding in Amsterdam on this day in 1942 and lived in a secret annex. And experience documented in her diary. That's the biggest thing part of. Okay, which became a classic of war literature until their capture in 1944, August 4th. So it's completely fraudulent. I don't think she was an actual real person. This is just like a random picture of someone that they found, because that diary was written with a pen that didn't exist yet.
Yep, I saw that.
And I was you guys beat me to the punch when it comes to Helen Keller. Helen Keller was a fraud.
Yeah.
She had a British accent living in Alabama, and she flew a plane, wrote multiple books, but she was blind, deaf, and mute. So
yeah, and Stevie Wonder wears a watch. Get your arms around that one.
That's another one. Oh, I should have added those into the trivia questions before. All right.
Did me bringing up Helen Keller being a fake witch thing? Were you going to show this anyway, or did that remind you of it?
No, it was kind of like a lead on type of a segment to this, but I'm just saying that on this day. So I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'm gonna share one more, and then I'm gonna let you guys take over for a bit. Okay, close that one. Actually, yeah, I'm going to make a big announcement at the end. But for now, present. Okay, so here we go. Trump's signing of one big, beautiful bill includes $85 million to move Space Shuttle Discovery from the Smithsonian to Texas. Like, why in the fuck are we spending any money on this at all? Like, and where did that money come from? Oh, it came from us. Oh, because we got fucking ripped off. On July 4th, 2006, NASA's Space Shuttle Discovery launched on a return-to-flight mission that paved the way for it and its sister ships to fly for another 5 years. Now, a sprawling budget enacted on Independence Day will seemingly lead to Discovery lifting off again, though this time not into space, but rather from its place in the national collection. And it just goes on from there, just a bunch of boring bullshit. But yeah, $85 million.
Can you scroll it back up to the picture of that? Back up to the top to the picture of the shuttle. I want to talk about this a little bit.
Sure.
Can you zoom in on it a little bit? I got it big screen, but I don't know if you can have the ability to zoom on your screen or not to make it even bigger.
Yeah, zooming is really simple if you guys aren't aware of it. If you're on a desktop, all you have to do is hold down Control, and then you use your mouse wheel.
There you go.
Will you say that again?
So.
Oh, I don't have a mouse wheel.
Oh yeah, you need a mouse. I think you do. But yeah, you hold down Control, mouse wheel in.
Can we just I want to take a really close look at this picture, and I want to just do a little meditation here. So, yeah, make it big again, because I like that. Yeah. So let's have a little talk here, guys. So the fastest aircraft that we are aware of, at least, that's in public record, the SR-71 Blackbird. I'm sure there's faster ones that we're not aware of, but that's the fastest one that I know of. If you've seen it from the front, there's very little to see because it's so thin-lined that there's only enough room to fit somebody in the cockpit and enough room for engine. And because it's creating so much drag, it's not, was it Mach 3? Is it Mach 3, which is like it's
Mach
3.
Mach 3.5, I think, is what they said.
It's like 3,000 plus miles an hour or something like that.
2,500 miles, I think, is what they said.
Yeah, and this thing, they couldn't keep it up in the sky because it would get so hot that the seams where they attach the wings and everything else would start to expand and contract depending on temperatures, and it's running at 80,000 feet or whatever. And that's at roughly 2,500, 3,000 miles an hour. You can go back and look at all the specs on it or whatever. This hunk of shit that you're looking at here allegedly came out of Disneyland outer space above 10,000 miles an hour, if not more. That thing would get cremated in about 2 seconds entering the alleged atmosphere from outer space. Creamed, like melted, like there's no aerodynamic capacity on that hunk of shit at all.
No, look at the paneling on the top
this
booster.
fucking shit.
That top booster, look at the paneling and repair on that top booster. You see it?
Oh yeah, that's duct tape.
Yeah, just some paneling repair we did real quick. That's not going to rip apart.
You're looking at what you're looking at is a retarded flying machine that barely ever flew other than flying for landing, that had its own engine and it landed. It was a glider to help you agree on space. Oh, we're up there with this hunk of shit, a hunk of fucking shit that barely could get off the ground without help.
And I love the way the windows get smaller and smaller.
Look at that fucking hunk of shit.
They're making the mice sit in the very back row with the windows getting smaller.
Look at that look at that jet engine in the back too. It is so retarded.
Okay, so the other thing, the reason I was bringing this up as well is because I have had many conversations and not like a formal debate in regards to the moon landing, but this thing allegedly went up and carried a car, the lunar rover, and the lunar expedition module inside of it, and was easily deployed into the correct location. And this is what they are telling us. And yes, you see, like they have that Flex Seal tape on the fucking thing, and the SR-71 Blackbird actually did not have paint on it. Do you guys know why?
It would start on fire or something?
No, it would weigh too much.
That logo would be off there.
There would be about 100 pounds of paint on this thing.
Again, we've showed, and a lot of times we've showed, and I want you to leave that picture up. We've showed the famous one of the rocket sled where they do all the testing in the desert at 6,000 miles per hour. And it's unfathomable, that speed, watching it, much less surviving that speed with any sort of like friction from air or anything else. This thing is a hunk of shit. This shuttle is a giant hunk of shit. And they still push this shit on people's heads. Well, you know, we have to get cargo up there to our space station. And, you know, this was the better thing to get up there. I'm like, why don't you just shut up? It's dumb. And anyone in aeronautics, anyone that flies jets, anybody that's in aeronautics can tell you exactly what would go wrong with that thing anywhere above even 800 miles an hour, even above 1,000 miles an hour.
I don't know shit about aerodynamics that doesn't come from skateboarding, and I can do it too. And the fuel tank has PVC pipe on the outside side of it. In that clip that Dave always shows where they let the tank go and it's clearly floating, but it's supposed to evaporate before it hits the ground. Like, it's just people. And you know what Alex just said, that anyone that knows anything about aerodynamics could call this out. But the people that haven't woken up that do know about it just they'll Google it. The first excuse they find, hey, sold me, and they're back to being asleep.
Yeah. Well, they can't get their tchotchkes and their paycheck if they're actually working in the field, so they're not gonna play. You know, hey, the mortgage comes before anything else, right?
So the other reason I was bringing this up, is because it was $85 million to transport it. I don't know how it could cost that much to move it from I don't really care how they transport it, but it shouldn't cost $85 million. But instead, there's some stupid billionaire out there that would probably be like, I'll pay $2 billion to own that, and I'll pay for the shipping. So, yeah,
there's still people that defend the Challenger, man. The Challenger survivors, like, you know, and their biggest defense now is in pro baseball. There's 2 pro baseball players from different teams that look identical and have the same name. And look, it can happen, dude. That's once. We're talking about it happening 3 times out of 7 people. No, sir. Bad. Not you, Doc. The dog thinks I'm talking to it. No, sir. You're not allowed to be that stupid.
Also, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of it, but a couple years ago, roughly, I forget where I saw it, where there was these 3 Russian guys, kids, teenagers, and they found this abandoned type of spacecraft facility, and they went in there, and they actually had like all this stuff. It was like, I mean, a multi-million-dollar project to build that kind of facility, and it's just abandoned now. And they have an actual spacecraft or something, like what do they call it inside of there? I'm not sure if you guys ever saw that. I'll have to
You're talking about the thing that's out in the middle of like the Russian wilderness where they had an entire replica, and it's just sitting there, just gathering dust.
Yep.
Right.
So that's kind of weird as well. But I don't want to bogart.
No, you're good, man.
Okay.
And by the way, I've got a lot of people that want to come on. Alex has 2 people he wants to come on. I've got a couple people that want to do a part 2. Watson a part 3. I liked the idea of us just doing us. So I didn't cram for today. So you're not bogarting. This is the show, man. This is what you get. Come hang out. If anybody has anything they want us to cover, let us know.
All right. So tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing that. I'm going to show my next one just for shits and giggles, because people think I'm joking when I say this, but I'm not.
Back up.
Shits and gigs.
All right.
I got to watch myself. Atticus is starting to emulate my my lack of vocabulary. My weak words is what's it would say.
And okay, so I am going to attempt to run for president in 2028. And people are like, yeah, you're not going to win. I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck if I'm going to win. I'm going to do it I'm basically just going to troll the system. I know I'm not going to win. Even if I did win, I'd be like, fuck you.
Oh my God. Can I be your press secretary if you win?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, then I would have to actually accept it. I don't want to move to Washington, D.C. That place sucks. I used to live
Can I be your man in arms? Wait, that's He-Man. Shit.
That's okay. So zooming in a little bit here. So registering as a candidate. So I know even if someone's a felon, they can still run for president, even if you're incarcerated. But I was like, okay, what other requirements are there? So it says, this is from the Federal Election Commission. This is a government website. And it says, an individual running for federal office must register and file financial reports when he or she raises or spends more than $5,000 in contributions or expenditures. And there's links to all these things. I'm not going to go over those at the moment, but federal candidates must designate a principal campaign committee. This campaign committee takes in contributions and makes expenditures for the candidate's campaign. Candidates may designate additional authorized campaign committees to help raise and spend funds, but only a principal campaign committee is required. The first steps that follow cover specific topics to help an individual register as a candidate. And then it goes down there. There's the 3 other requirements. So you actually have to have $5,000 to run for president now. You can't be like, hey, hello, everyone. I'm Andrew Baker. I want to run for president, and I want to abolish NASA. And no, you can't even. No, you have to have $5,000. I mean, I have $5,000, but I'm not going to fucking use that for, I don't know. And by the way, I am seriously going to do this but I have to figure out how to get that 5,000. It'll probably come out of my own pocket. But
We got $5,000. Name that movie. We got $5,000. We got $5,000. Nope.
I don't remember it.
Next song.
Oh, I think was it Biodome?
Nope. Next song. Keep going.
All right, that's all I had.
Oh,
for
okay.
now.
Wayne's World.
Ah, that's right. When they're gonna go buy the guitars.
Yeah, when they signed the deal. Yep.
All right.
We got $5,000.
All right, so that's all I had for the moment, and I do have one other thing to share at the end, and that'll be the joke of the day, or if you guys want just like a fact of the day, I'll do that instead. But take it away, please.
Oh, sorry, I was reading chat. Man, God, you really, Doc? You think Jaron really buys it, or did he just get threatened or sell out? You know what? I don't want to waste any breath on him. You know what's odd is Jaron's the only guy on that kind of like that bigger tier from like the 2015-16 days that I like. I've spoken to him like back and forth text, but he's a guy I don't really know. But considering how much research he did, I can't imagine he believes some of the stuff he's claiming to believe, like the Katy Perry shit. Like that's just a bridge too far. I can't wrap my head around it. Someone, on that 8-hour hate fest, someone did say I look like a mini Jaron, and I felt suicidal for the first time in a long time. Do I look like Jaron at all?
No.
Look at these eyes. Have you seen eyes this beautiful?
Yes.
I'm kidding. My eyes are.
Did they really go
brown.
8 hours on that thing?
Yeah.
I had heard some rumblings that there was some sort of big thing. It was.
I watched a few minutes of it. Well, someone sent me a link like, "Hey, you've already, you've made the big time. They're already doing
It was.
The
It was
big times. Yeah, that's
Gerald Jackson's stream.
Yeah, nice. Well done.
I just didn't know.
Janis Joplin, Jason Jones. I can't think of his name.
That's a long time to talk about people. You remember when RV went full RV? Remember that? I feel like this is happening all over again.
Hi, Angela.
Never go full RV. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Dude, I had a wrench in RV Truth. Like I remember Richie from Boston went on his show and they were calling out just as trivial of stuff, like the whole ladder thing with Weiss and all that. And I'm like, surely he's going to do a rebuttal on some of this. Like, this is insanity. And he just kind of never did. I've actually heard that before, Josh. Someone did say I look like John Cusack. And someone said I look like the president on House of Cards. Look like I could be his brother.
Kevin Spacey?
I've heard S.A. Martinez from 311. I've heard Eminem. But I've never heard Jaron. Jesus Christ, because I used to be like a solid 9.7528. And even in my age, I'm still at 8.2331.
What are you talking?
I'm very specific about my hotness rating.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Jaron's like a 5.762300001. Like, I'm better looking than that. All right, I'm done. It's something. Dude, you know where all these random thoughts come from. You've done some touring. You know where random inside jokes grow into something that you and two other dudes on the planet find funny.
Yeah, they happen in the van.
Yeah. I just said planet. I just said planet without blinking.
Oh, that's going to get cut up and put on somebody else's show. Rico
Ray
said
Ray.
planet.
Yeah, dude, I hate when other people do it. Little
Planet.
What's up, girl? Speaking of Richie from Boston, I've known, or not known her, but I remember her being in Richie from Boston's chat from like 2017 or 18. It's funny that when you've been a truther for as long as, I mean, I've been a flat earther. March will be my 11th year. I've been a truther since.
Richie kind of surfaced back up recently. I saw him do.
I've noticed that. And so did like the scariest movie ever. What's his name? KJ.
Dude, I got to tell you this. Robbie Davidson must really have his balls in a fucking vice, because now he's doing reverse videos like Jaron is.
Oh, he's one too.
Oh no, he's just. I'm telling you, they've got his balls in a vice. So like he's completely reversed everything, and like all of his like biblical people
Aw.
are like, they're like, "What happened to you? Did you forget about Genesis?" And like, all the comments are just like, you know, I don't know what to make of the guy. I've never met him. I like a lot of the like really early cats like met him at the original conventions, and they were like, the reason they got suspicious because he let all those Saturday Night Live people in and all the late night producers in so they could do hit pieces inside of the. But he took money for it allegedly, and I understand that from a lot of people that he took money, he took VIP tickets from to let him in, and so like. I mean, the Robbie Davidson thing is so fucking weird because like he had a lot of followers that like, are of the biblical persuasion, and they really like he like took them through the Genesis chapter of the Bible and compared our cosmology to it, and like he was in that whole circle. And it's funny to watch. Maybe it's not even him. Maybe he's been detained or he just can't even talk anymore. But they're using his likeness, and he's doing these kind of things down Facebook. And
Wow.
I'm like, this is just like cringy, gaggy. But if you weren't already cringy before, dude, you're cringy as fuck now. And like, there's nothing about whatever you stand up for it makes any sense. It's like they got his balls in a fucking vice. I don't know if it was that crypto shit they got in trouble with, him and Patricia, whatever that was. Um, but they're all walking that line now. They're drinking that Kool-Aid, and it's like, you have to say this. It must suck to be them, like to really do a 180 on something like this. I don't know. I
Yeah.
didn't know him. I didn't know him, so that's as much as I'm going to say.
Well, I told you what it means if I do, and it's not a financial gain thing because I still have to sleep at night. But there's only one thing that could make me do it, and it would.
Your
You know?
kids?
Yep.
Yeah.
You threaten my kids, and if I believe you, then yep, it's a spinning
And
ball.
that's
The left-right paradigm politically means something. Your vote counts. The Fed is good. History is written by the truther. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'll sell across the board if I feel like my family is in danger. But I mean, who wouldn't though, right?
Yeah, I mean that's forgivable at that point.
But
All
I
right,
wouldn't
so-
for money. Like, you know me,
Yeah.
like we have cars outside and I'll ride a bicycle. Like I'm just not a money guy. I love Paul Reed Smith guitars, Josh.
The quote you're looking for, Rico, is by Napoleon Bonaparte, and his history is written by the victors.
I know the quote. I altered it to be clever. How's that working out? How's that working out for me?
Napoleon Dynamite 2 is going to be coming out in 2026
with a different actor.
No, it's with him. I follow his TikTok. It's fucking hilarious.
I saw a different guy. Maybe he was.
I think he's going to be following in Uncle Rico's footsteps, and not you. But like, I'd like to.
Oh my god,
Uncle Rico with the football.
I hope his brother and Tawanda have a baby, and then he gets to be Uncle Napoleon.
Mm.
Oh,
dude,
I hope the llama
you know,
is there. Eat your breakfast.
Dude, I want the nachos that get shot by shot. The nachos that grow in Napoleon Dynamite. You know what I'm talking about? Every time it goes back to him asking for the chapsticks and pile of nachos, it gets different sizes.
Yeah.
It's one of those subtleties you have to watch the movie over and over to catch. But
yeah.
I was in a band on Face Down Records called A Plea for Purging when that movie came out. Now, we watched it in theaters and we were the only people laughing at it. I was laughing at the opening shot right when he
oh, me too.
Right when he tries to jump the bicycle and it zooms in on Napoleon. If you look really closely, he's got like a spider web sticking out of his hair. Like, it's just like such a bad shot. Hey, I hope you're right, Nico. I'm not arguing with you.
He just announced it on his TikTok. Do you want me to send the TikTok? Because he's got some really fun. I've got links to funny TikToks for him.
Yeah. Do you have to have TikTok to open a TikTok?
I'll send you the link to his TikTok. Hold on.
Okay.
I'll find it.
I see the same videos. I just use Instagram Reels.
Yeah, I saw a lot of stuff. What was I? What was that else I was going to talk about? Other than the fact that we're under a hurricane, which is weird in early July. Um, hmm. Oh yeah, so this one thing that we always went through, like we've been through it, going through it for off and on every other time for forever, is a lot of people talk, and I see you out there in the chats. They're like, NDB's like, I'm getting down from riding the fence now. Yeah, I get it. That's not we're none of us are riding the fence. And I'm saying this to like Jeremiah, that like I'm basically like I'm basically like I just wait until like the story's been told. Like I don't make an assessment on somebody until I can see it out. And even then, why do I care? Why do I give a shit? I can monarch and gray rock somebody and walk away from them if they turn out to be, a sham. There was some suggestion, and then that I was getting cuddly with certain people that are part of TFE. I've been very clear on it. TFE is suspect as fuck. And if you're involved in it, you're a suspect. Now, two of the three characters, I just don't. They're out of my life. And Witsit is he hasn't canceled himself out of it yet, but he was a part of it. And so here we are. We got to see what this last little story falls out with Witsit. And if it turns out that his part is just as bad as everybody else's, well, then so be it. What does that have to do with me?
Dude, here's my opinion. I think the I hate the title, it's a misnomer, but the final experiment worked in its goal. And the fact that we're still talking about it, the divide and conquer, the backstabbing. And by the way, that kind of backstabbing, like Johanna is like the same kind of guy that's like, this material shit, I'm unsubbing. Well, why did you say anything? Just unsub and go away.
Just unsub and walk away.
Yeah, like that's the same kind of thing, only way worse. Just leave it alone if you don't like it, or reach out to me. Go, hey, you got 5 minutes? I got some advice for you. Do this, don't do that. Here's my opinion. You're portraying this, like I'm into constructive criticism, but I'm definitely not into you belittling my friends. That's something.
It doesn't age well.
You don't like. I'm not a violent guy. Like I hold my punches, but man, back in my day, I'd stand up for a friend in a heartbeat. You don't want to get in the middle of that. I wouldn't want to get on my bad side. What does that mean? Whoa. I'm calculating infinity right now.
Yeah, so I don't really ever want to have to talk about this kind of shit again. I thought like the whole RV thing back in the day would have taught everybody a lesson, but apparently there's still people that go full RV. And I mean, whatever. That somebody actually would do an 8-hour session is really curious to me. It's weird. Like we do a show once a week, and we show a little bit of ourselves personally online. And, I do a Reckoner video every now and then, but like, if you're gonna, do an 8-hour show on somebody that you're gonna make a position on, then maybe you want to meet him in real life.
Maybe you're just sitting in your mom's basement and you have nothing else to do. Like, what is wrong with you? Who raised you?
I couldn't do it.
How do you sit there and talk shit about people that you don't even know for that long? Like, it's comical to me. And you know what? Keep talking shit. Keep on talking, buddy. I would love for you to talk shit about me. Go right ahead.
There you go. Hey, and keep watching us too, by the way, and hit that thumbs up.
Yeah. If you're gonna talk shit, why don't you come on and talk shit in my face?
No, don't invite him or her. Is it Janice Juliet?
I mean, I thought it was.
Does he have two first names?
Yeah, Pat.
No, it's Janice Juliet.
Well, anyway,
I guess Alex didn't tell you my Lesser Magic theme. Never mind. I'll tell you later.
Okay, So last thing I'm gonna share.
Hit mute and ask Alex what.
Wait, before Rico, Rico, I just sent you Napoleon Dynamite a couple of videos, but I just texted them to you.
Okay, cool.
Is there a trailer for it?
No, he actually just did an announcement for it on his TikTok.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they're like in pre-production right now?
Yeah, I mean, if all the excitement didn't happen today, I would have had one of those. It's funny that you brought it up, which is like not coincidental, but I had one of those videos, and the first one I sent you, it's like him playing catch Uncle Rico style with Pedro after Ice took him away. It's really bad. It's just he's bad Napoleon, and he makes fun of sports. And he makes fun of Napoleon Dynamite, but I guess he just signed a deal with Searchlight to do Napoleon Dynamite too.
Okay. Well, there's some guy that looks a lot like him that's not the same actor that said he has movie posters and everything, but it could be a fake account. So I'm probably wrong. Like I only saw it once, and that was like 4 or 5 months ago, probably.
Oh, that's our friend's puppy. Hi, Valley. That's our friend. Come here, Davy Crockett. Come here, baby.
All right. So the last thing I'm going to share.
Never go full retard, Valerie. I need to talk to you.
Rico,
by the way.
Look at.
Oh, he's a good dog.
You're such a good boy.
I don't know what I did, but I'll do more of it. Just tell me what.
Hi, baby. Hi.
You mean you don't speak?
No, it's Davy Crockett. Hi, you're such a good boy. You're such a good boy.
Yeah, Doc, that's what I was talking about with Jimmy Jupiter. Is like the Alex or no, wait, not Alex. Sorry, Alex. Jake the asshole had that whole thing going on, and they were talking about Kelsey, saying Kelsey's a dude, and you could tell like every wrench in his chat believed, like hung on his every word by no matter what I said about knowing her personally, hung out with her in real life on 2 different years. Her new husband owns a skateboard shop, so like we bond over our love of skateboarding, and believe me, she is not a man, and I don't want to say why I know. And they're like, well, Rico, you're obviously gay. Like no matter what I said, his little wrenches had his back. Like it was the same kind of vibe, and I'm like, there's no way I'm getting behind that. This kind of like, I mean, even if they were right about us and we were evil and shills, like what are you getting out of calling us out? Just delete us and don't watch us. Like I just don't get it.
Yeah, go watch the Kardashians.
Right, same kind of like
go watch Love Island. Go watch Big Brother. Go watch fucking Ancient Aliens.
And if you also think about this, like, and I've been thinking about this a lot, it's like, what would be the ultimate like psychological operation to get in the middle of a bunch of people thinking the same way? Which I mean, if you've actually got your arms around this topic, you can't go back. So what do you do then? You don't have anything else. They don't have any arguments against lack of measurable curvature or gas pressure without a container or the Earth moving. They just don't have it. So what do? You have to go inside and you have to manipulate the weakest minds inside of the movement and get them to behave the way that you expect them to behave. And of course, they got them to behave exactly the way we expected them to behave. Just like so many people that get so hardcore into analyzing a picture, you can analyze a picture and you can decode a lot of stuff out of a lot of things, and you can find some truths. And RV did a lot of good work, man. I'm not knocking the guy. He did some great work, but he took it too far. He went all the way to the point where he undermined his own self because he couldn't realize that there were other human beings involved. And the thing, like what I was trying to say on Reckoner on Friday was like, it's important to go out and meet people in real life and meet them and shake hands with them and say like, hey, we may not agree on everything. We agree on some general things here. And if we don't agree on this topic, big fucking deal.
Right. It shouldn't be a big deal. Like I don't line up. Actually, none of us here at Tinfoil Sombrero have perfect aligning ideas about things. Like none of us.
No.
Like, I mean, unless Nico and Alex are perfect, but like
no, we're not perfect.
We are all vastly different. Like we don't meet we meet in the middle on a bunch of stuff. That's why we have a show. But we disagree on stuff all day long.
Well, because I'm an agent. Don't forget that.
Yeah. You know what? I cannot agree or disagree to that, Andrew. I can't agree or disagree to that.
All right. So
Seriously, it's been hours since I've cashed a David Weiss check that was in the $1,000.
Okay,
Oh.
so here we go. I don't use Chat GPT very often, but I use it to fuck around once in a while. So the command prompt at the very beginning: write a unique joke that is considered politically incorrect. And, that was fucking boring. And I said, all right, write 10 more. And these are so fucking bad. So why don't conspiracy theorists play hide and seek? Because good luck hiding when you're already live off the grid in a lead-lined van.
Wow, that was a terrible.
I didn't write this
AI
shit.
is cringe.
I wasn't wah-wah-wahing you. I was wah-wah-wahing the joke.
Number 2, I told my therapist I had imposter syndrome. She said, "You're not even good at faking that."
Oh my god.
This is your AI.
This is
Trying to write
AI.
jokes.
It's your AI.
Why don't
Hey,
vampires
by the way, before I forget this thought, I'm so sorry, Andrew, because I'm really interested in your list. What Alex was saying, I just wanted a little aside. Basically, what RV did was like, you know what pareidolia is, where you find a face in anything, like
Yes.
people that
Yes.
think that trees have
Alpopenia.
bodies.
Oh,
Yeah,
I have that.
it basically becomes that after some time. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Why don't vampires use dating apps? Because every time they swipe right, it's just another blood type mismatch.
That goes back, Andrew. That goes back to the when we were talking about AI a couple episodes ago. It was like, if you really have an understanding of humor and metaphor and irony, AI can't be funny. AI isn't funny. It can't be. That's how you recognize it. That's how you discern AI shit from real shit. It has the inability to understand humor. Okay, keep going.
The human
Okay,
touch.
and number 4. My uncle tried stand-up once. The audience was dead silent, which was fair. He was performing at a funeral.
What? God,
Yeah.
that's like an Andrew joke.
Why is
No,
that
come on. I'm way better than that.
Well, I think
weird?
I think way might be a stretch, but yeah, you're better than that.
Oh, thank you.
I'm kidding, dude. Go ahead.
Yeah, don't pat me on the back at all. Anyways,
Can I
what's
pass
the hardest part about working in AI ethics? Explaining to your robot why gaslighting is wrong while doing it anyway. What the
Oh my
fuck?
gosh.
What?
No, hold on.
It's actually telling
hold
the
on,
truth
wait a
there.
second, Wait a second. When AI first came to be, there was a whole there's deep thinking, and deep thinking has a lot to do with AI. I cannot explain it. Somebody has explained it to me. I've looked into it. It is really bizarre. So you basically feed the computer like a whole bunch of different things. But the one thing about a computer, about an AI chip, is they can't lie. Gaslighting is lying. So that right there is truth in plain sight, because they're teaching computers how to lie to other computers. So when you do that, you gaslight everything. So it screws up reality completely. Oh my gosh, that's just like
You're
blowing
right.
my mind right now.
That
Well,
was number
hey, I
5.
told you about that article where AI is starting to blackmail its programmers and upkeeping and all that. Like it's getting crazy. Go ahead, Andrew.
All right. And again, banter is totally welcome when it comes to this, because it's fucking ridiculous that this is the level of society we've become. Anyways, why did the ghost get canceled? For haunting a pre-war mansion with colonial energy. What the fuck does it even mean? I don't get it. Number 7.
You know what? I'm just gonna. That's one of those jokes you laugh at because the rest of the room is laughing, and you don't want to like be the only guy that doesn't get it.
Number 7. I asked my friend how to make fast money. He said, run for office and sell morals wholesale.
What?
To avoid tariffs or something?
I have no fucking clue what that even means.
Huh.
Number 8.
I'm calculating infinity again.
What do you call a minimalist? Doomsday prepper. Homeless with anxiety.
Oh, okay. I just did
it. That sort of makes sense. Number 9.
I was just happy that I kind of found a little humor in something that I laughed out loud.
Why did the Doomsday cult start a TikTok? To make the end of the world go viral before it goes actual.
Wow.
Yeah,
No, I get it. It's just not funny in the least.
Oh, this is ChatGPT. I didn't.
But before it actually goes viral.
All right, and the last one, number 10. My cousin started a nonprofit to fight narcissism. He called it Me First.
Oh my God.
Oh,
It's
one of my favorite bands is Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. That had nothing to do with the topic. See, that's
Absolutely.
why I try not to interrupt.
Okay.
so there's your AI comedy of. Hopefully, you'll never have to hear that again because it's not good at comedy.
No, it's awful.
We
Yeah.
are all now a little stupider for having heard that. God bless your soul. I love that part of Billy Madison so much. You know what I'm talking about after his
Yeah,
story?
I do. Yeah.
It's so mean. Like
So where do we go from here? Where are we at, guys? Who do we have coming up in the next couple of weeks? We've got some people that have been looking for part 2s and part 3s, some people that we've been able to try to get on and then we had to cancel for various reasons. What's it looking like out there?
well, let's see. We're gonna have Watson back on because he was way too organized for us. So he's got a part 3 in him. That's a solo sombrero. I need to throw out another Sunday date for Skylar from He Is Legend. Corey from Norma Jean is going to happen in 1 year. Andrew's got 2. Do you want to talk about that, Andrew, or you want to wait until they're on the books, or? I don't want to. I don't want to name actual proper nouns, but until they're on the books. I feel like that might.
Well, 2 people that are going to definitely be coming on will be. They're on vacation still, traveling around the country, and that's going to be Taylor and Dan. Taylor is in grad school right now, and Dan is in medical school, and they're both biologists by education, which I think Lowry would probably be interested in speaking with them on behalf of. And I gave them my P900 and my laser, and they did some tests out there with Alan at the Salt Flats. Anyways, they're going to be coming on like maybe a week after they come back. I don't know exactly what date that is, but then also in the future, Skylar, Trouble in Tribune, when he gets released from his illegally, he was illegally, he's in prison right now. Let's put it that way. But he's going to be coming on for multiple episodes, and that's going to be sometime around February. And then also we have other people like Flatzoid that is willing to come on, and Ben, Taboo Conspiracy, said he's down as well, but we just have to find the time frames for that.
If we do Flatzoid, we're going to have to do like a special, like a Saturday, like midday or Sunday midday, because he's, what is he, 6 hours ahead?
South Africa. So I don't know what.
Yeah, so 6 hours ahead, something like that. Anyway, you take over here. I got to take this phone call.
Yeah, aside from that, that's the only information I have to. And also Joe and Jen from Legit Bat Podcast. They're pretty much just like us, except that they have way more subscribers, and they are, they smoke weed and drink on fucking camera and all that kind of shit. So, and I've been on their stream 5 or 6 times, and yeah, that's going to be fucking fun. I'll tell you what. But that's all I have for the moment.
You know what? You guys either hurt his feelings really bad live or back me up on this, but I think Tony would make a great guest.
Oh, yeah. Let's have Tony Coriolis on. That would be super fun.
His call-ins to every show he calls into are always super entertaining.
No, he's entertaining. He's like the nicest person. I adore him.
No, I told him it's simple what I do. Like some people, it's 2 or 3 phone calls, but Tony would be 1 call. All I do is chat with them, see what they're into. I take down some notes, and you basically just freestyle it. And I have a basic outline of the 2 hours that I'll if you don't have to carry the show, we'll carry you if you've never done your own special, but it's not that tough. I mean, we're about to do solo stuff. We got the Solo Sombreros, Nico's Nightshade, the Hurricane Rico Files. I don't think Alex, DJ, and Andrew have officially named theirs yet, but that's going to be coming up. We got a few outside of the United States pre-shows. We're always going to be here for your Sunday time slot, but those will be bonus shows. Me and Alex have talked about that. Me and Lowry have talked about that. Like when we did Alex Michael, we had to do it at a different time because of where's he? Is he in Ireland? No. UK?
Spain.
No.
Spain. He's in
Spain.
Spain.
That's right. That's right. Where's he from though? He's not from Spain, is he?
I think he's from the UK. He's from.
Okay,
I think he's from like south or probably south. He has more of a Cockney accent than he does a accent.
That was a great episode. I was so proud that I didn't write the joke beforehand, which is probably why it actually landed. But Alex decided to open it up with the News Believer song, television watching News Believer. And the riff starts off, but our mics are hot. And I go, sad but true called. They want the riff back. And he genuinely cracked up at my joke. And I was like, nailed it. Like a good gut chuckle from my sad but true called. They want the riff back.
He's funny.
No, he's great. Did you guys see him on TLC not too long ago? And one of the guys from Ironworks was on there, or Iron Realm, or whatever. Yeah, Iron Realm replayed it. It was a good 2 hours. They talked a lot about 440 megahertz versus 332 and all around just good stream. If you guys haven't checked that out, it's TLC, Truthers Hour of Comedy. Mike?
THC.
Oh, what did that say?
You said TLC, like the Learning Channel.
Well, there you go. But he was on there last week.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he's a super nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
And don't we also have the other guys from Whiskey, Beer, and Conspiracies coming on?
Oh yeah, but all three of them the next time.
Right.
That way.
Also, Thunder Chicken. We need to get Thunder Chicken back.
Thunder Chicken.
We got to get Cammy and everybody to come on and talk about Esoterica coming up.
Yeah, I can't wait to redo the Whiskey, Beer, and Conspiracy because my notes for the three of them, because I'm used to them as a trio and they feed off each other. And not that Big Country was bad by himself. He wasn't at all. I would like to get the guy. Have you guys, if you're not into the Confessionals podcast, you guys know who Nathan Reynolds is from the Reynolds Rap, the Reynolds Empire?
No.
He's a truther. Well, he's one of those Empire families like the DuPonts and whatnot. He was the most recent guest, but they don't have a video show. It's audio only, just a podcast, but it's called The Confessionals. I'm actually in the middle of I can't wait for my own show to end so I can finish that episode, but it's called The Confessionals. And he's actually, he's got a studio here in Tennessee. I found him on Tinfoil Hat. Sorry. Yeah. Tony Markle. Yep. Exactly. James. All right. Wow. That time flew by, guys. Anyone got anything else before?
I think that, there's one more thing that should be brought up because I'm not even fully comprehensive on it. And that is Esoterica, which is going to be this October from the 17th to the 19th at the same place that the hurricane ravaged last year. And I'm very curious to hear more about that. And I don't know much. I'm sure a lot of people might be curious.
I am curious. It's just like DJ Curious, who we miss dearly. He is working or doing something fabulous.
I'm working up a sometimes why pun for, you know what I mean? And sometimes DJ. DJ's part-time for reasons I can't go into professionally. But Oh, and my God, that whole thing with Jenny Jupiter. Like, how can you crap on DJ? Like, that just bothered me. Like,
I didn't hear that. I didn't.
I'm not even going to listen to it.
oh well, who
'Cause-
has that kind of time?
I mean, like, honestly, like, I don't even understand who has time to like talk shit for that long about people. By the way, talking shit about people and complaining rewires your brain into a really negative way. And I feel like if we want to manifest a better world, maybe we should just be positive and just, you know what? That stuff, people who talk shit, they're not in my reality. Like, they're
Yeah.
not even real.
Oh, by the
So,
way, hey, I didn't watch
good
it.
luck
The
to you.
only reason why I found the section about us is I was scanning through the images and saw the image that I shared on Instagram. Like, I didn't watch it. I just waited till I saw our image.
Hmm. I mean,
Oh, thank you.
all of the people that we stayed with, they opened their homes to us and helped us out in like a really important time of need, because Alex and I went through a tragedy that is really difficult to go through. Just like, I mean, we didn't die, but just like these flood victims and stuff. So just like hug your relatives, tell people you love them, and be kind to yourself and kind to everybody else. Because you're really not going to go anywhere if you're going to just sit down and talk shit about people. I'm sorry, but like that's like the lowest vibration. And I feel like you should probably go to therapy.
Oh my God. No kidding. No
Right?
kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a reflection. I mean, people have been telling me ever since I decided to do what I did 5 months ago that the light in my eyes is back on. Well, people like that, I'm imagining they have no light behind their eyes. If as far as that, you know what? I can't make that make
Yeah.
sense. It makes sense in my head, but I can't.
It makes
word
sense.
right.
It makes sense, but whatever. This guy, he's just basically an NPC, and he just is getting an army of bots to come after. And so, good luck to you guys. Have fun lying to each other, gaslighting each other, just like that joke that Andrew told.
Yeah,
Right.
that was bad. But I'm gonna end on this at the moment, which are
I have an outro song ready to play whenever you guys.
cool. Yeah, there's two quotes, and I love these quotes because they are from Mark Twain, and I have a poster. It's like 5 different posters up on my wall right next to my computer, and it goes like this: the two most important days of your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. And then the next one is: life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly. Kiss slowly. Love truly. Laugh uncontrollably. And never regret anything that makes you smile.
Nice. You should always end with those. All right. Thank you guys for being here.
Like 45 minutes or once.
I love my beautiful co-host.
It's working.
I've got an outro song. And
The tropical thing is here. So we're
you're breaking up a little bit.
From here. We're gonna have internet for much longer. Already
you're not coming through, buddy.
I'm gonna go and Andrew off.
I love you, man. You're breaking up. You got internet issues.
it spreads it farther out of my hands. Asking advice from all the clowns. Oh, can I take your frustrations to the ground? Can they wait in the wings for you to fall? Can't you make dust of them all? When fire meets powder, you run for cover. I fly under and when fire drowns water, don't even bother out of my hands. In some untimely way, the world asked us to leave. Suddenly we're afraid, no longer can we stay. The thread of life was strung to each and every one. I knew it all along, your call to unplug. Are you just unwanted noise? Who's cannon? Remember all those you destroyed. When fire meets powder, the strongest coward hide underhand. When fire drowns water, it spreads it farther out of my hands.
All right, guys. A hurricane's here for us, whatever it is, tropical depression.
All right, take it, bunker down.
Yeah.